What's up, y'all? So all of that footage was shot on this bad boy right here, the 85 1.8mm lens by Ziess. Now first, let's talk about 85mm. Why 85mm? What is 85mm? If you haven't used an 85mm before, it's basically like the standard for portrait photography. It is very flattering for human subjects. That's why I was going filming Jamie at the beach to kind of show off how it makes people look. I love the 85 because it gives an artistic look. The telephoto look is very distinct and it separates from all the other lenses, I feel like. I use the 85mm for everything. For all of my B-roll, I shoot actually all of my wedding films with just one lens, give or take the scenario, just with an 85mm cinema prime lens. 85mm to me is my favorite. I love it. I love the way it looks. It just feels more film-like, especially when you have it wide open. If you don't know about 85, you better start knowing about 85 because it should be in your arsenal, whether it's for B-roll or portraits. 85mm lenses are dear to my heart and they are like my secret weapon when it comes to filmmaking. The Ziess 1.8 is special because it has optical image stabilization built into it. It's one of the few 85mm that actually have image stabilization. So when I saw this lens and I started reading about it, I was like, yes! I was like, this is the one. I have to get this because I shoot so much video with an 85mm that having the image stabilization can really smooth out those little jitters that I was getting. So that's the main reason I got this lens. Also, the second reason why I picked up this lens is because it's weather sealed. It has a really nice blue gasket around it. It's built really solid. And I'm always shooting in rough environments. A lot of times it rains on me and I've put plastic bags over my gear, you know, like Ziplocs, just cut them open, throw it over your lens. Well, it's weatherproof now, hey. That works, but it kind of looks silly. So let's talk about the pros and the cons of this lens to see if you really want to drop the $1,200 rather than the $600 of the Sony version of basically the same lens. When it comes to image quality, this lens is a little bit better than the Sony 85 1.8, but not by a lot. If you just want to get a lens based on image quality, I think the cheaper version of this lens is actually a way better buy than this one. And I'm not going to talk too much about the G Master. The G Master to me is very big, it's clunky, it's very expensive feeling. I would only get the G Master if you do portrait photography for a living and you're in controlled environments. Where you're not gonna like drop it or something. For me, that lens just feels like it wants to drop and I just don't like it. It's too heavy for me. It makes you feel like you're carrying a huge camera around. This feels almost as good as the G Master. I don't have the lenses with me to compare them on this video, but I have used them before. And this lens feels solid. It feels like it's gonna last. It feels like it's really nice. And even compared to my cinema lens, which is a little less, this isn't very expensive at all. This one's still built really heavy, but it's still plastic, I think. Let's talk about the autofocus. I found that using this lens, the autofocus for photography was amazing. It caught the eye every time. There wasn't any mishaps, but the autofocus for video was very slow and sluggish. In fact, I found that the cheaper version of this, the Sony 85 1.8, actually had better autofocus than this one. I tend to lose focus really easily. It didn't hunt, I wouldn't say it hunted, but it did lose focus a lot, especially when someone's walking towards you or walking away from you. So the autofocus of this lens is not as good as the cheaper counterpart. That's something to keep in mind. And the main thing I do not like about this lens is the focus ring. The focus ring and the OLED display. To me, the OLED display is basically pointless. I mean, no one's gonna be looking at numbers on a screen when they're filming something. A lot of times I'm in fast-paced environments and just the fact that there's an OLED display means nothing to me. Like, why would I ever look at that? With this one, I shoot everything in manual mode, right? So I like how it has this grippy wheel thing, you know? The follow focus, the pull focus thing. It's got this nice, it stops, you know? Hey, I'm here, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm all the way out. Hey, I'm all the way in. Love that. That's so cool. With this one, it's just like some skimpy ring that's got a little rubber on it, but just I don't like the focus ring, okay? I like the focus ring way better on the Sony 85mm 1.8, the cheaper version. I shot all of that on manual 2 for one wedding and it was amazing. So I don't know, I don't like this focus ring. In fact, I might like put like a rubber band around it or something so it's easier to move. It's just not practical. It's just not practical. All right guys, so that's it. My final review. I'm giving this lens about a 7.5 out of 10. I like it. The image quality is good. I just wish the focus wheel was different. That's basically it. I wish I had better autofocus and a better focus wheel so I could manually focus better. But with that said, getting the optical image stabilization and the weather sealing is awesome. That is why I got this, and I still love this lens. I love the form factor. I'm gonna be using it a lot. I'm gonna be putting it through the ringer. So I'm excited about this. I definitely recommend this lens for anyone shooting video, especially handheld video. You can put this on a gimbal, but I don't know why you'd want to put an 85 on a gimbal. I don't know. To me, like, I kind of like the handheld look of this. So if you're shooting video and you want a good quality 85mm lens to get nice buttery B-roll, I recommend this. If you're on a budget, just get the cheaper version. Get the Sony because it's half the price. You don't get the optical image stabilization, but it's not that bad. This just smooths out a little bit. It doesn't smooth out a lot. And the focus wheel on the other one's easier if you like to do manual focus. And the photo quality is just as good as this. So with that said, guys, I hope that helps you inform yourself as to what lens you want to buy. I love 85mm. They are my heart and soul. They are my bread and butter. I love them. So I'm gonna be using this, and hopefully there's gonna be a new Sony 85 with a better focus ring. But until then, I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna love it, and yeah. Okay, so that's my lens review on this channel. If you guys wanna see more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe to support the channel. I'll be back with some more travel videos and camera and filmmaking content for all y'all. I know the world's crazy right now, but hopefully we still are creating and getting content and documenting life around us. So until then, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.